I was a girl in the village too.
I became a princess overnight. There's a giant cactus here.
I'm as thick as that cactus.
Look at the cactus. What the heck?
I'm thick. It's just the same thickness as any other cactus.
It's tall. The village over there. Iron Golem's up on the hill by the stone where I'm gonna go anyway, so. Pretty good.
It's a dubskis.
Dub. Five iron. That's a max.
That's a max.
Got it first try again. Flank, but I broke a.
You always gotta mess up.
I broke the next one again. That's my goal. Next seed or something. Ooh!
Nice.
Oh, there's a lava pool there too. Epic.
A deserted temple.
A deserted temple. Temple A. Knew my water was glitched. Oh!
Yes!
We
Finally!
I got it.
Alright, drink
And my
focus
water.
up.
Are you kidding me?
Try to focus up.
You're joking. Why did my water have to glitch on this stupid wooden book? A much juicier cave than I expected. Never judge a cave by its entrance. Oh, there's quite a bit of iron here. Oh! I don't know if that was exposed already or what, but...
Oh, enemy. I'm your lag, hello?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes!
Oh my god, what the fuck? Okay, it went off again, it went off again, it went off again. Oh my god. Yeah, we're good, I'm sorry. Fuck me, okay, this is Stream SMP. This is the legendary speedrun. Can you hear me now? I need to actually get into the, like, things, like, so I can fucking read chat.
You should make pose like 100 times and now I mess up and... Okay.
This run was sus. This run was sus, and people knew it from the beginning. People have been saying this run was sus. And we found out today that yes.
Oh my god.
Yes. The run was sus. The run was very, 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 very sus.
I'm gonna spawn the fortress.
Literally right next to the lake spawner.
Yep.
Okay, it's okay now. Awesome. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. Though with this thing, like, I'm supposed to be able to monitor.
Nice.
Testing.
Ooh,
Yeah, it just
yes!
makes it louder for you,
okay,
right?
it is
It doesn't
epic.
make it louder for me.
Seven
How is it
Quite
sus?
definitely.
Okay, the reason that it's sus
As well.
is that this spawn
Yes.
is, like, not the kind of spawn you would get normally. Like, it's a just so spawn.
Come on. Basically a spawner like right
Like, the spawn is very lucky.
No! No, it's a dead end, isn't it? No, it's not. Yeah. Ooh!
4.
when it was analyzed,
okay.
what the mathematical
No,
chances
like,
were
it's
of getting this
1,
spawn,
2, okay, go.
it was something on the order of 1 in a...
Go,
Yes.
go, 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 go.
Well, okay, here's...
This is it. Run dream.
We're gonna run into this a little bit, but... The initial, appraisal of the speedruns, like the chances of getting the spawn was like 1 in a billion. I think somebody else looked at the odds and they figured that the first analysis had been mistaken, but their analysis was like 1 million. So it's still like not bloody likely, right? It's still really, really sus that he got this spawn.
But
This is tweet I'm looking at. Okay, run dream. We've got like 11.5 minutes. Go. So run.
Oh my god, hell yeah. Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
They sent it to Sam now.
you wanna?
They sent it to Sam now.
Did the stupid thing
Yeah,
break?
it broke. It's fine.
It's
I know which one I'm
it's
going.
not okay. You can pretend like it's okay, but it's not okay.
It is okay. It's fine. It's fine. I've a lot of time.
Oh, Enderman, sorry.
I know which direction I'm going.
You can drop 4. If you drop 4, you'll
Drop
leave.
four.
$5. Right, drop 4, you'll leave $5.
You're gonna owe me. You drop-
Yes,
Yes, let's
sir.
go!
Are you kidding me? You really dropped none? As long as you say he's gonna drop 4 times. What anti-luck? Next time say he's gonna drop 0.
Okay, okay.
Like you shouldn't have. Like the Enderman doesn't want to give you $5. Why did you say $5?
Well, should have said $1 million.
No, the Enderman doesn't give you $1 million. He said like you owe the Enderman money, then maybe he would have.
Next time I'll say I bet Enderman that you won't drop 4 pearls. And I'll give the Enderman $5.
Exactly. There it is.
Alright, Enderman, I'll give you $5 if you drop Dream 4 pearls right now. See if he takes it.
You get it over there.
So is this one of the things?
I don't know.
One of the things, the number of pearls that Enderman dropped was one of the...
Alright, so far this, I killed 3 Endermen.
Yeah, he got 1.
In an alternate universe, you'd have 12.
Yeah, exactly. I have slowness. What? I have a minute and 45 seconds of slowness.
Oh my god.
Are you kidding me?
Well, use your, if you find a cow, just use your bucket and pick them up.
100 IQ. I always say 100 IQ, but 100 IQ is like low, isn't
It's
it?
like
That's like average.
I guess it's low for someone like me.
100 IQ, chat. 100
100 IQ should be the
IQ.
maximum. Should be between 0 and 100.
Why?
Oh, there's cows. They said so. And me, an intellectual, should know that that's a good idea.
So stupid.
It's horse
Okay.
I'm like trying to get Justin rolling onto manhunt. And I
That'd
do
be
like
epic.
high IQ.
That would actually be so funny. I don't think it should be manhunt though, because
Yeah, not manhunt. Just like a challenge. Yeah, we like Arkham and stuff.
Yeah, he gets this done in like 6 minutes, in like, what, like 8 more minutes?
There's Enderman.
So he's got 1, I don't understand. He's got 1 Ender Eye so far. Okay,
Ooh,
2,
wow.
3. Okay, you got 2 off that Enderman. So I think it's the things he got out of that chest, you know, that he got, the fact that he spawned near
Enderman. Look through his little head.
Was that Enderman?
near one of those desert,
This one's a 4. I'm telling you. I know
thingies.
it.
Okay,
Okay,
go to Jinx.
those
No, I
desert
didn't jinx
thingies, yeah, the desert thingies.
Yeah, you jumped him. Good job.
Okay,
There's
one
2 more
more.
Dude,
Wait, is
you
it?
got
Oh!
one.
Ah!
Oh my god.
You were about to place a block, then you're like, oh, that's gonna make me fall.
No,
Oh,
before even
so-
attempt
What about the
Oh my
Enderman
God, why
spawn
aren't we
rate,
dropping
chat?
to. I don't know.
Just drop a good amount.
He's running.
He's running away. It's like, ah, get away. I have 8. I have 8. One more Enderman can drop 4. One more Enderman can drop 4.
8. Okay, is that a normal
So two
number
more
of
bucks left.
Enderman? No, it is. It is. It is. I've seen Enderman spawn like that.
I'm like sleeping in my chair. Oh, there it is. Please. Come on! Please, Dream. If this doesn't drop 4, I'm leaving. Please. Yes!
Oh, he dropped 3. It may drop 3. Drop 3.
You got to go.
3. He got 3.
Oh,
Okay, I
risky.
didn't
I
even
might find Enderman on the
know.
way. I might find Enderman on the way. I will go down though, because
Maybe I'm not
and it's more likely that there is one
super up
on
to
the
date on the drop rates.
True.
I was like, that seems like a
Let's go,
lot.
Dream.
Wait, how much time do you
Let's
have?
go,
Does
Dream.
that happen?
It's on the way, on the way.
It's a bit less than 6
I'm
minutes.
pretty much past where it could be. Like, I'm gonna throw him.
Yeah, this isn't that good. Like, if you throw it, it breaks your 10.
Yeah, if it throws it, he breaks. That's gonna be quite good.
Okay, it's right here. It's literally right here.
Oh shit. Wait, what?
You're just gonna pray it's not a 0 eye.
When did he
Please,
make?
not zero, please.
Hold it, or
When did
Enderman
he
spawn
make
like
those?
Go, 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 go.
It's more like
Five
this.
He
minutes.
must just like
More
really
it's not.
quickly.
Get that water bucket out. Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
wait, he found it. He found it.
Maybe
He
you
found
did.
it. Oh my god, chat.
Go, 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 go.
Oh my god, I'm hyped now. Come on.
Please don't tell me I misjudged
So
where it is.
he was really close to the fortress,
Oh my
right?
God,
This is
no.
the fortress where you get to the end, right? You
Georgia.
dig down here.
I wasn't even concentrating on what you were doing.
Yes, go, go, go.
Oh my god, wait, okay. The record is.
He's got 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's not called the fortress. I
It's
forget what
right
it's
here,
called,
Oh my
chat.
god.
It's
How
right
many
there.
eyes?
One,
Oh my
one,
god.
go, go.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Don't
Oh
miss
my
the
god. Oh my god. That's how you do
Yes.
it. That's how you do it fast.
Good.
Okay.
Imagine you miss the like flies off into the
Chat,
ceiling.
I don't know these
Oh my God.
speedrunner things.
18, 23, yeah, exactly like 4
Like, I know
minutes.
all
So
of
long.
you do.
That's good.
Oh,
Okay,
All
Cal,
of you understand.
Okay, Cal,
I did it, I
I
yeah, you
think you
did.
did. No, you didn't.
No,
No, it's
that's
not that one. Okay, yeah, it's different. I think you did that. Is it-
Yeah, I hit it.
One, okay, shush, hit the rest of them.
Meow meow. Oh damn. It's
Yeah,
actually
good job.
good.
Nice.
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 Nice. Go, one more.
Is that the last one?
Get the last one, get it closer.
Oh shit.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Shut your mouth.
Like, I'm pretty good with the bow, chat, but he's definitely better than
Pretend it's a
me.
normal end.
No question at all.
And if you're better than nocommentchick at Minecraft,
Yes.
How's it doing?
I love this accuracy.
if you're better than a political streamer at a
Better.
video game,
What is it doing? Let me see, calm down. It's coming down, I think.
Yes.
Yep, there's the animation.
so, like, we're talking about, like, oh my god, you blow it up. You blow up the bed to kill the dragon. Is that how you blow it up faster? Yes, you kill it faster. Was that a thing?
You still gotta come in, huh?
So if you try to get in a bed in the, either the end or in the
You need to smack it with the sword.
Nether?
And, like, last hit with the bed, right?
Yeah, I don't think I'm able to get it, dude. On this next
your
one.
bed explodes. So he's using his bed as an explosive,
Probably not
basically.
the
Yeah. Should I kill him for a pro?
I don't think so. Maybe that. It's just gonna come down for a while, and you can easily get one.
Coming down.
No, it's not. Come on, 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 get down! It's going down.
Okay.
So there's like a lot of things you have to do apparently. You gotta like
Off the bed, just smack it.
make a bunch of beds.
Yes!
Oh my god, same time, same time, same time, same time, same time,
Got it,
same time,
got it,
get
got it,
in,
got it,
get in,
got it, yes!
Yes! Yes! Oh my god!
And that was
Wait,
it, chat.
Is
That
it
was
in, how do you
it.
see in-game time?
That was it.
How do you see in-game time?
That was it.
Yes!
22 minutes and 6 seconds. That was the record, okay? Pretty fucking impressive. But, like I said, people were sus. That spawn was too damn good. Oh my god, what are we looking? What is
Is it
this?
possible for one player to be so lucky while playing that game that we
Oh!
can say with mathematical certainty that they are
Okay.
officially too lucky? This is actually the most
is
requested
stand-up
video
maths
I
here,
have ever
chat.
had, because just over a month ago there was some big drama in the Minecraft community. One of the most
Let's,
popular players, someone called
let's-
Dream. They've got over 15 million subscribers on YouTube. They're probably on Twitch as well.
Slow
I don't
this
know.
down.
But they were accused of cheating because in their Minecraft speedruns they were having incredibly good luck. And because all the arguments against them, all the proof that they were cheating was based on probability and statistics, an overwhelming number of you
Ooh,
got in
I
touch
have
with me
food.
and asked if I could take a closer mathematical look at it. And I was very happy to do so. And my goodness,
So
there were
chat,
some
we
interesting
kind of
results.
already know how this
Yeah,
ends, right? If you've
How long
been
did that
paying
take to
attention to
film?
the news, you know that something was revealed today that was very definitive about
I know a lot has already been said about the
whether
Dream
this spawn was
speedrun
organic or
controversy, but I think
not.
I'm actually quite well placed to make a video about it because I am a disinterested party. That's not to say I'm not uninterested.
He's like, I don't
am
give a
interested
fuck
in
about
what's going on, but I haven't got
Minecraft.
an interest,
Dream?
like, an
Who are you
investment
talking
in
about?
either of
I
the
don't
two
know
parties.
this
So
shit. I'm a
disinterested.
boomer.
I don't care who's right, but I'm interested. I want to make sure we
But I'm
get
an
to
interested
that right
boomer.
answer. And we're going to have a pretty wide spectrum of people watching this video. If you're here for the Minecraft, first of all, welcome to the channel. I'll
Hey,
try and go
Robert.
through the maths as clearly as I can. If you're here for the maths, regular viewers, thanks for showing up. I also didn't know much about Minecraft before this, so I will try to go through the Minecraft details nice and carefully. Some friends of mine have given me a lot of help. So we'll start with a very quick recap of what the controversy was.
Minecraft is a game that can be played in many different ways. Some players just want to explore the landscape, mine resources, and craft items. Other players, however, like to achieve some kind of objective and effectively, complete the game. And in Minecraft Java Edition 1.16, you can finish the game by killing an Ender Dragon. And of course, the moment you can finish a video game, people are going to try and speedrun it. Speedrunning is the challenge of finishing a video game as fast as possible. And if you're not aware of this, it's super popular. There are videos all over YouTube, streams on Twitch. People love watching people finish games incredibly quickly because it involves a lot of skill. Now, to speedrun Minecraft 1.16, players normally start by collecting useful items in the overworld, traditionally done by finding a village. That's the fastest way to obtain a number of key resources.
This
They
is
then
another
head
thing
to the
about
Nether, which
speedrunning,
is a
chat.
different dimension by traveling
There's
through a
different,
Nether
like,
portal. In
divisions
speedrun,
of, like, whether you
that
are
requires
speedrunning
getting water from a river
1.16
and lava from a lava
or-
lake. Don't try to understand the logic.
Do people
just go
do
with
the
it. Once they're in
snapshots,
Nether,
maybe?
Players can barter gold that they've mined.
Anyway,
with
depending on the
humans
version
who
of
will give them
Minecraft, there's
items.
different
Some of which will
strategies
be
for
ender
speedrunning.
pearls. The players then
So it's
have to
kind of
find
a
Nether
different game
fortress
if you
where
wanna
they can
speedrun
kill
it.
blazes, and blazes will
At
sometimes, when they die,
1.16 versus
drop a blaze
another,
rod. The ender pearls and the blaze rods means the player can now activate yet another portal, which will get them through to pretty much the end of the game. They pop out, there's a dragon they've got to kill, an exit portal, and then that's done. The credits roll. And the challenge of speedrunning is just to find the fastest way to do a certain combination of all these different things to get to the end of the game as quickly as possible. possible. And traditionally, I tend to watch speedruns of classic games, things like Super Mario Brothers, where yes, there's some luck, like there's some randomness in the game, but it's mostly skill. I mean, even things like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out!, a very old game, watching people hone the skill required to do that is absolutely incredible.
So,
in Minecraft,
yeah, there's a
while
lot of
obviously
procedural
skill,
generation of
there's
the
way more
world.
luck than you get in a lot of other
So,
speedruns.
depending on what
For
seed
example,
you
when
got,
trading with a piglin,
it's
there
very
are
hard
actually
or very
17
easy
different
to
distinct
speedrun.
items they
You
might
know,
give you,
sometimes
and inside the
impossible,
game code,
maybe.
There's a table
Hey,
for
Neko.
the
Meow, meow.
weights of how likely each of these different items are. If you want to get an ender pearl, you can see that's weighted 20 and 20
Oh my
out
God.
of 423.
Chat, I don't even have
gives
my
you a
lights on.
probability
What am I
of
doing?
4.728.
What kind of a
Ish,
streamer
roughly
even are you,
5%. So
Irene?
you've got to do a lot of trades
Irene.
to get ender pearls.
Oh my
And
God,
if you start
Irene,
putting
your
gold ingots
phone
on the
has
ground,
no battery.
a piglin will stand there and
Irene.
sequentially trade until they've used up all of the gold. What
Charge
you
your
can do,
phone,
little pro tip
Irene.
here, is if you put them in a bit of a hole, it'll stop them from wandering away when they're done. You can then go and start a parallel series of trades with a different piglin. And if
A
you get them all
piglin.
going at once, eventually you should get
Piglin,
enough ender
piglin.
pearls. And in the 6 live streams that Dream did from October 2020, across them there were 262 barters, and so you would expect, on average, 12 of those trades to result in ender pearls. Dream, however, got ender pearls from 42 of their barters. That's over 3 times the average. Blaze rods are a bit more simple. They occur 50% of the time you kill a blaze. Over the same 6 live streams, Dream killed 305 blazes, which should give you 152 or 153 blaze rods on average. Dream got 211. Dream was getting pretty lucky.
Now that we know precisely how lucky Dream was, the next step is to calculate what is the actual likelihood of someone being that lucky.
What is the probability that you get ender pearls 42 times from 262 barters? We can work that out using this, the binomial formula. I love it. It's such a good formula. It gives you the exact probability for a specific number of successes.
Anybody
Here's the probability
encountered
of
this in
success.
math?
You then raise it to the power of how many successes you want, and here's the probability of failure, which is to the power of all the
This
other
would have been
times
like
when you don't
statistics,
want a
right?
success. And the term out the front, that's the choose function, which compensates for the number of different ways you can arrange where the successes are. So like in this case, we don't care when people get the ender pearls, we just care how many they get. Using that formula, we can fill in a whole table to give you the probability that you will get any number of successful barters resulting in ender pearls, and we plot that. You can see the most likely is 12, up at 11.6% probability, and this middle clump between 1 and 24 successful barters is 99.9%. You are overwhelmingly likely to be in this part of the distribution. Whereas Dream is at 42 all the way out here. That has a probability of happening of 0.00, a bunch of zeros, 4. Although it's slightly deceptive when you're looking this far out to just pick one specific value, because there's so many other nearby ones it could be. So what we actually do is we look at the probability of getting this or better, which is the same number of zeros, but then 5, 6. I'm actually going to stop writing that as a percentage and just do it as a straight up number. The probability is 5.6 times 10 to the negative 12. And sometimes it's useful to think of that in terms of odds. And so that is a probability of 1 in 1.8 times 10 to the 11. We can now repeat the whole process for blaze rods, which have a 50% chance of happening each time you kill a blaze, and the probability of getting 211 or more blaze rods out of 305 kills is 8.8 times 10 to the negative 12. Also incredibly small, not dissimilar to the other one. And that represents odds of 1 in 1.1 times 10 to the 11. So that's 1 in 110 trillion. Very, very unlikely. And if we assume that these two probabilities are independent, the chance of them both happening, we multiply them together, and the overall probability is 5.0 times 10 to the negative 23. That's a 1 in 2 times 10 to the 22.
Oh my God.
A 2 with
That's like
22 zeros after it. Getting a result as good or better than what Dream got is vanishingly unlikely.
But just the straight odds, that's clearly not the whole story. I mean, you're watching me sit here, have arguably better luck than I have any right to have. What are the odds of this happening? Is this real? Have I faked it somehow? Well, there's a lot of things you don't know. How long have I been sat here for? Where did this beard come from? How can we compensate for all the unknowns outside of the actual bit we're looking at? And don't worry, this is where more statistics and probability come in. And actually, it's a good time to go to the very first segment of this video, part 1, the attack.
Part 1.
the attack.
It all kicked off when Dream submitted one of their speedruns to speedrun.com, and it would have been, at the time, the 4th fastest speedrun of this part of Minecraft in the world. However, the moderation team at speedrun.com were not convinced that Dream was using an original, unaltered installation of Minecraft. They thought the luck indicated Dream must be cheating. They had somehow changed the version of the game they were
There
playing.
was a
So
cut?
they released a summary video that went through their investigation into the mathematics of the probabilities in a
In-
nice kind
in
of introductory
Dream's-
level, and they released
there was a cut in
29-page
Dream's
PDF
video?
that went through it in, I would say, a
Did nobody notice it until? Is that what
the starting point was
Dream?
some observations from other
Anyway,
speedrunners
we're gonna.
that Dream
Dream
had
has
very good
commented
luck
on this.
with the ender pearls and
Dream
blaze
has
rods
come out
across
with a
6
statement,
consecutive
chat.
live streams in October 2020.
And some of you probably
They did
already
the
know
same
that.
calculation that we did with the binomial
I'm
distribution,
trying to
combined them the
tease
same
it out
way,
for
and
the
got
like.
the 10 to the negative 23 probability that we previously saw. But they didn't stop there. In fact, the vast majority of the paper is dedicated to looking at how there could be some kind of bias in their findings. They accounted for 4 different ways that their investigation into this probability could be unfair against Dream, and tried to compensate for all the unknown aspects of how Dream could have gotten
Oh,
this
in the
lucky.
stand-up's math
We don't have time
video.
in this video to go through
Oh,
all 4
so
of
stand-up
those, so I'm
speedrun
gonna
is
look mainly
in
at
doubt
filming
now.
bias in stream
Should stand-up
prediction.
maths really
It's
do
the
the
idea
speedrun
that
of
if Dream
this,
was
like,
doing a lot of different live streams,
video?
someone
I
could
don't
have
know,
just
chat.
maliciously
Maybe it's
picked the one
illegit.
which made Dream look the
Maybe
most
it's sus.
guilty. However, we can fix that with some mathematics, as I will demonstrate with a coin flipping example.
Oh, when he
Let's
threw the
say I've uploaded a
basketballs.
video to
I
YouTube of
see.
me
I
flipping a coin
see.
100
Yeah,
times.
I didn't even
Because I've
notice.
done that. It's on my second channel. You can check it out. It's there in case you ever can't be bothered flipping your own coin. And I'm using a coin which is yellow on one side for heads and it's blue for tails. However, let's say, hypothetically, some malicious actor has edited out just a run of 12 flips from the middle where I got 10 tails out of 12 times I flipped the coin. And they're saying that clearly the coin can't be fair. If you do the binomial distribution on this, there's only a 1.6% chance that you'd get 10 tails out of 12 flips, or a 1.9% chance that you would get 10 or more tails out of 12 flips. Clearly, it can't be a fair coin if the chance of getting my results are so incredibly small. Now, you come along, and you're not sure who's telling the truth here. So you're going to try and compensate for the fact that you know I did 100 flips. And let's say, hypothetically, you can't find the original footage. So, yeah, I know Matt flipped it 100 times. And obviously, this malicious actor has picked a run of flips with the smallest probability of having occurred if the coin was fair, like the p-value. But there were loads of other runs of flips they could have picked. Technically, they could have picked any of the individual flips. There's 100 of those to pick. They
Oh
could
my
have just cut
god,
one out.
chat.
They could
So
have picked
this
any of
is
the
like
99 pairs of flips. They could have picked any of the 98 runs of...
there's a bit more statistical analysis of this. Maybe we'll get back. Unless anybody's like really into this fucking stats. This is a bit above my pay grade here. Asmongold reacted. Okay, well, no. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, but come on, no. Stop.
Hey, so it's early in the morning when I'm recording this, so I have to keep my voice down a bit. I just wanted to make a short video about this, but Dream actually came out and admitted to altering his rates for pearls and blaze rods. To sum up this long-ass paste bin, he used a mod for his manhunts that increases the rates for entertainment purposes, and didn't realize that he was using the mod while speedrunning during the 6 streams in question.
Okay, chat.
Alright, so let me give you a timeline. On October 16th, Minecraft released his tweet showing his...
He cheated, but I guess he didn't know that he cheated?
findings after realizing that Dream got...
I mean, it's possible. It's possible because he does do the manhunt thing, right? And so if there's a mod that's like commonly used on manhunt videos that makes things more interesting by increasing drop rates, I guess that you can't disprove it exactly.
way too many pearl trades on average. Shell Guy released his since deleted YouTube video regarding the situation on October 19th. This has some significance because Dream actually posted a comment under this video showing that he was aware of the allegations. Since it's deleted, I can't show it to you, so I guess you'll have to take my word for it. The official Minecraft speedrunning mod team released their findings on December 11th.
Yeah, so I think that what, you know, he was saying was that like I guess from what I understand, he saw that allegation, you know, like the basically this is what turned out to be right, you know, like the anyway, the best faith interpretation, or best faith, how do I put this? If you're a Dream stan, you can still tell yourself Dream didn't know, Dream didn't realize, and you know, maybe he realized at some point, but then he was like, oh god, you know, we all know that, right? So there's a way to resolve this without saying, like, you know, Dream's just a piece of shit. So Dream stans, don't at me. I'm not saying that your dude is a piece of shit.
And Dream posted his response video on December 22nd. He deleted the video sometime later, supposedly when he
Look, I know better than to mess with the Dream stans, okay? I know better.
Realized that he was in the wrong.
I might be able to take everyone on in political Twitch, but I cannot handle the Dream stans coming after me, so yeah.
So let me tell you this from the perspective that I see it. This guy was accused of cheating in mid-October. Took him
Dream did nothing wrong.
multiple months of people claiming that he altered the game somehow for him to realize that he actually did. So typically when I unknowingly do something wrong, I double check after being told about it, but no, it took him literal months to figure this out. Here are a couple of theories I have.
Okay, here we go.
So the first one is that he has such a big ego that he didn't even bother to check, so basically willful ignorance. The second one would be that he is so dumb that he didn't even realize that maybe he was doing the thing that everyone was accusing him of doing. I choose to believe the first one. I don't think that Dream is dumb at all, but I do, however, believe that he has an ego. The reason that I don't think he actually knew about it until the response video was deleted is because no guilty person would defend themselves in the ways he did. He loves speedrunning, so if he knew he was guilty, why would he use his platform to talk shit about the mod team on Twitter, release a 20-minute response video, hire an unknown statistician, etc., etc.? Another thing that happened recently was...
Didn't the statistician he hired ended up only, like, so before it was like a 1 in a billion chance, and then Dream statistician was like, actually, it's only a 1 in a million chance.
That his once world record in version 1.15 was removed from the leaderboard. In his pastebin response, he mentioned that it was collateral for cheating in his 1.16 run, but I feel like there's definitely another reason, especially since the decision was made over 5 months after geosquare released the mod response video. There's been no statement from the moderators about this, and I don't expect there to be, since it's pretty irrelevant now anyways. This is all I have to say about this. I just wanted to release a quick video explaining it and giving my insight. I usually make longer Minecraft speedrunning.
Am I to understand that you could do something wrong and, like, you know, you don't admit to it, you say it didn't happen, you know, you deny, and then you could, like, wait until the right time when, like, nobody cares about it anymore, and just, like, go ahead and be like, okay, I guess I did it, yeah, no, that's true, that was me, I am Slick Juice in Among Us. You potentially one could, if one were Slick Juice in Among Us, which I'm definitely not, but, like, yeah, okay, that's interesting, you could just, like, kind of drop that in, like, if it's, like, way after the fact, and, like, nobody cares about it anymore, it's not being featured on Kevin Logan's stream as a big controversy, and another reason why NCC bad, why Kevin is triggered by NCC, it's not another reason that C. Logan cannot fucking leave my shit alone.
But when something big happens in the community, I like to address it. Anyways, have a great day.
So C. Logan's not doing NCC streams anymore. Interesting. Okay, I see. So yeah, that is the official release. So he admitted it happened. He was definitely cheating. He says he didn't realize that he was cheating. And then you're left with the idea of, like, well, was he dumb, or is it just, like, an ego thing, / like, wait until the right time, / so the fact that he talks so much shit kind of leads us to the conclusion that maybe it is that he just, like, did not realize. So that's the Dream is dumb theory. Not that I'm saying that, Stans. Not that I'm saying that. I wouldn't say that about Dream. Ha ha ha. That's what this other person said, who's not me. But so yeah, this is interesting. Okay, so this is the official moderator from geosquare. From December 11th.
Over the last few months, there have been some serious allegations against the popular YouTuber Dream, claiming that he tampered with random loot drops in his Minecraft speedruns. So the Minecraft speedrun moderation team, in a combined effort with mathematical experts in our community, have launched an investigation, which is culminating in the release of this video and a statistical analysis paper that thoroughly examines the case and accounts for bias. That paper can be found in the description. This video, however, is meant to make that information more accessible to a wider audience, debunk any misinformation, and present circumstantial evidence that isn't proper to fit in our paper's objective analysis. All that being said, please watch through to the end to hear the entirety of our argument.
That's a little bit better. Yeah. I like that. Do you like that tempo?
On October 16th, speedrunner MinecraftAvenger posted data he collected from 6 consecutive live streams of 1.16 random seed glitchless speedruns by Dream from earlier that month. The data he collected was reviewed by several members of the mod team, and it showed that random piglin barters performed throughout these streams yielded significantly higher ender pearl drop rates, Dream getting an astounding 42 successful trades out of 262 possible trades. These results are exceptional, as they are not only substantially greater than their expected values, but perhaps more notably, substantially greater than the rates from other top-level runners. But just how rare are Dream's trades? To answer this, we first need to look at some basic statistics, specifically at these models called binomial distributions.
Oh my
The goal of a
god.
binomial distribution is to show how likely
This
a
is
random
the
event
this is the
happens compared to that
TLDR
when it
version,
happens a certain
chat.
percentage of the time.
This is the TLDR version of that maths video we were looking at earlier.
To get a better understanding of these distributions, let's take a look at a classic example, flipping a coin, to see how it works. It's common knowledge that when you flip a coin, it's a 50-50 chance it either lands on heads or tails. But obviously, if you go to flip a coin right now, it's pretty likely that you'll get something like 3 heads in a row, or at the very least something that doesn't fit the 50-50 ratio immediately. Taking this to the extreme, getting something like 37 heads in a row would be pretty rare, while getting something like 17 heads mixed with 20 tails seems about average. What binomial distributions do is quantify just how lucky any one of these scenarios is. Let's take the case where you flip 10 coins, and want to see how likely getting any particular number of heads is.
Sody pop.
Here you can see for each number of heads, there's a certain height, which represents the probability that after 10 flips, that's the number of heads there are.
Chat.
So for 6 heads in 10 flips,
If
this
you
is the chance
donate
of a
to
head.
me, I'm probably
Let's
gonna
say if
use
you
the
want to look at the
money
chance of getting 6
for an
heads or better,
energy drink.
you can add all of these probabilities
probably
to
where
get
it's
the
gonna
combined
go.
chance.
Just letting you know.
Binomial
Either that
distributions
or
don't only work for
oatmeal.
coins though. In fact, every event that
These
either
are more
happens or
expensive
doesn't
than
because
oatmeal,
of some
so
probability
most
can be
likely.
modeled through binomial distributions. This is great since we want to understand the odds of getting repeated pearl trades from piglins. The major difference between pearls and coin flips
Oh my
is
god,
that
it's
pearl trades
slurping.
only
No,
have
no,
4.7
no,
chance of
no,
happening,
no.
which shifts the distribution to the left considerably and makes the slope a lot steeper. Alright, hopefully I didn't lose you too much in the math, but now we have the proper skills to understand speedrunners' odds of getting pearl trades over time.
Stop.
But before we get to Dream, let's take a look at another top runner. In fact, he's the luckiest runner we could find, Illumina. Over the course of 5 streams in September and early October, Illumina was able to trade 323 gold with piglins in his RSP attempts. From that 323
Chat, it's
gold,
like
he got 20
very
pearl trades.
fizzy.
Let's
Very
model this with a
fizzy
binomial
water.
distribution to see
That's
just
why I
how
have to
lucky
drink
Illumina
it.
got.
That's why I
Plugging
only
Illumina's
drink the
trading
fizzy
results into
water.
the formula, we get an approximate value of 0.09. This means that there's only a 9% chance of getting 20 or
it's
more
so
pearl trades
refreshing.
with 323 gold, placing Illumina above 91% of other runners. This is really lucky, but Illumina most certainly did not cheat to get these odds. These kinds of numbers are expected when you think of the total number of runners doing attempts. For instance, say about 1,000. Since 1 in 11 of those runners will get comparable luck, about 90 other people did just as well or better than Illumina. Did Illumina get pretty lucky? Yes. Although any statistician will tell you that 0.09 is just a small statistical deviation. But that's just for 20 and 323. Let's take a look at Dream's odds. This isn't exactly a good look. Across 6 streams, Dream bartered 262
Not a good look,
times and got
sweaty.
42 pearl trades, which when plugged into the formula comes in
Not a
at
good
1
look.
in 177 billion. It might be a bit difficult to visualize just how unlikely these odds are, so we thought it would be useful to put Dream's rates in context with other speedrunners. So members of our community watched through hours of runs to gather data the exact same way Dream's was collected, and we created this graph which shows barters against pearl trades.
Some people are nerds
Dream
like
just models
this.
above
Some
anything
people
remotely
really like
comparable
this
or
stuff.
even reasonable, assuming
Statistics.
his rates are the vanilla values. This information has been public to an extent for over a month now, and Dream has released a
I
document
wish I was
trying to
into
refute the
this.
idea that he cheated. The main thing he's saying is that the data collected was biased in some way, so the extremely high figures in the billions aren't correct.
It's
So let's
actually
take
in
a
the
look at some of these
billions.
supposed
Sorry.
biases.
Yeah,
The
I
first
know
major
it's
argument
still
that Dream
fucking
has pushed is that
unlikely.
the data is biased because of a stopping rule. He's saying that since he stopped streaming runs because he got a personal best time, that was good because it was lucky. That last data point will be skewed upwards. This isn't the entirety
Oh,
of
I
how stopping
see,
rules
I
work,
see.
but it is just what Dream mentioned. This is a quite valid concern, and the way to correct for it is actually pretty complex, and we go into it in the paper. Correcting for this bias, the numbers go from 1 in 170 billion to the low number of 1 in 82 billion. Another point that Dream has pushed is that
Still
the
in the
data was
billions.
cherry-picked with
Still
some
in the
selection
billions.
bias across his 24 hours of footage, or was selected across runners because of having more noticeable RNG. The argument essentially boiled down to, they noticed that my luck was really high, so when they investigated it and found out it was really high, it doesn't count because it was biased. You can check the paper for a rebuttal, but we effectively examined the probability of this happening even if we checked multiple runners or streams first, and the bias wasn't nearly strong enough to refute the idea that the odds were possibly tampered with. Look, we're the first to admit that the data is actually biased, but it's nowhere near as biased as it would have to be to disqualify the evidence. The thing with real-world data is that it's pretty much always going to be biased in some way, but the field of statistics was made to interpret this stuff nonetheless, and account for all the errors. In our case, we've overcorrected the bias far enough so that we're biasing in favor of Dream, and we're still getting pretty crazy numbers. And we haven't even gotten to the strongest evidence so far. Guess what else has a random drop chance in speedruns? Blaze rods. Anyone want to guess what Dream's blaze luck was? 1 in 113 billion.
Okay,
We go
that's
into this in much
even
more detail in
better.
the paper, and we don't have much time to talk about it here, but the blazes pretty much follow the same logic as the pearls. Here's a graph showing the other runners, and it's pretty obvious they haven't learned how to get Dream luck yet. Now, this really isn't looking too good for Dream. Biasing in favor of him, giving very favorable circumstances, and assuming the best, the odds for all this happening is still around 1 in 678 trillion. Well, that is before we account for p-hacking, basically saying, let's be generous and say there are 90 ways to investigate 2 types of RNG. If someone malicious was looking to cherry-pick data, then they would just choose the most unlikely one out of the 90. So, since we'd want to correct for this potential bias, we divide 678 trillion by 90 and get a value of 1 in 7 trillion, which as you may notice is still a ridiculously large number. At this point, I think that Dream would probably want us to account for a second talking point. The game is glitched. The game is glitched, or Java's weird argument, is something that Dream wrote about in his response.
Java's weird. Oh my god. I'm sorry, chat. Java's weird.
Dream, despite being a coder,
it is, isn't
doesn't
it, though?
exactly know what he's talking about here. On our team,
it is like Java is legitimately weird, though,
especially
right?
applied to Minecraft.
That part is
they've
true.
all found that there's no way that Java could have just accidentally.
Yeah, it wouldn't be responsible for this,
Java
but it
works
is
that
weird.
Anytime a random action occurs, it scrambles some numbers internally, so the next random result will look different. The thing with Minecraft is that there are only a few different random generators that account for all the random outcomes, so each action is pretty contingent on the entire environment. I'm sure a question that some people might be asking is that if the per luck and the blaze luck was high, couldn't that mean that both use the same faulty random generator? The problem here is that bartering and blazes actually use distinct generators. Blazes use the entity random, while barters use the world random, which means they're completely separate and have no way of interacting. Let's take a closer look at pearl trades, for example, though. While
This is
bartering,
more
the
about
players in the net.
Minecraft
What else is in the
mechanics
nether?
than I ever wanted
Lava
to
also
know.
happens to use the world generator, just like the pearls. And there are thousands upon thousands of lava blocks constantly shifting the random generator all over the place, which makes it an extremely entropic environment. Since there is this entropy background radiation, in the time between pearl trades, the RNG is completely scrambled, and the amount of scrambling is random itself, which makes it impossible to have any continued interplay between strings of barters. Additionally, there are just some mathematical reasons that mean pearl drops can't
anybody
influence
that
one
says
another.
Dream
There's
is
really no way these
dumb.
numbers could
Like
just be the
Dream,
code's fault.
Dream was like talking about
This begs
this
the
like
question. Since it looks like Dream might have cheated, how could he do it?
I don't know. I don't
Considering
think
he was
he's
streaming at the
dumb.
time, left a lot of people with the idea that there was no way he could have faked a run. This probably stems from the idea that most faked runs in the past were done via splicing, which is pretty difficult to do when you're live streaming and interacting with chat. But the most likely scenario is that Dream used some mod or
splicing
data
meaning
pack
that
behind the
it
scenes in
doesn't
such a
look
way
like
that
a
would be
cut, but it actually
undetectable
was a
to a naive
cut.
viewer. This becomes a bit more suspicious when you consider that
spliced
Dream is using
together. It
Fabric,
was-
which is a mod loader that allows the community
Oh
to
my
use it
god.
for
Oh my god.
performance
Sorry,
reasons.
chat.
From Dream's log files, we can see that he had enabled Sodium, a perfectly legal FPS boost mod like Optifine, and the Fabric API,
Okay.
a mod creation tool.
So they let you
Dream
use
denies that he has any
FPS.
knowledge of how to create mods or do modification with Fabric. We asked Dream for his mods folder specifically, so we could check for any modification, but he was unable to provide any evidence, since he says he deletes the contents of his mods folder pretty regularly. In Dream's statement, he's acknowledged this, and said there is no way to 100% disprove that he didn't cheat by modifying files. Still, there are many people out there who are probably wondering, why would Dream cheat? Personally, I have no clue. It seems like a pretty stupid thing to do, but we can speculate and look at previous cheaters for information. By the way, this section is not supposed to be a part of the objective analysis, and has no influence on the mod team's decision.
So
But considering how Dream Twitter
this is
reacted
their
when the news first
commentary,
broke,
right?
combined with the Dream heavily focusing on this point himself, we thought it would be worse not to address it.
this is
Dream is on the
circumstantial
record for hating
evidence,
1.16
right?
speedruns, considering the enormous amount
But
of
they
luck
wanted
involved.
to
In the past, he had
throw it
gotten
in there.
frustrated with just how lucky the standards for world records had gotten, openly contesting the validity of Corbanus' world record, which was verified as the first sub 15-minute time. Before coming back to live streaming speedruns, Dream stated that he would stop running 1.16 and focus on 1.15 if he came back at all. And honestly, I agree with him. The RNG is pretty ridiculous for these categories. But just keep this anti-RNG sentiment in mind though, as we take a look at the precedent in other games. Carl Jobs is a speedrunning documentarian, and he's a lot of experience covering illegitimate speedruns and their perpetrators. Here's an excerpt from a Carl video
Really?
that I thought
That's
summed
his
up the
channel.
historical context really well.
Illegitimate
It may
speedruns.
seem
Wow.
counterintuitive, but you'd be surprised at how often some of the best players inevitably try to fake runs. You might think that having the talent to achieve a world record would make somebody less susceptible to cheating, but it often works against them.
I see.
Having talent tends to make people feel entitled, and when the game they play doesn't give them the luck they need, they become increasingly frustrated. On top of this,
And
having
Minecraft
talent
is
and
such
deep
a
knowledge of the game
sandbox
makes you
that
a better
it kind of
cheater.
lets you do
The fact
what
that
you
better players
want.
make better cheaters means that arguments such as he's such a good
Yeah.
player, he has no reason to cheat, are fundamentally flawed. When Billy Mitchell and Todd Rogers were exposed as frauds, this was one of the most common arguments their defenders tried to make. If anything, having a better understanding of a game makes you more likely to cheat. This is why, at the top level, proof standards are so important. I know the idea of Dream cheating can be unsettling to as many fans out there. I mean, I like the guy too. At the very least, maybe this does pose a plausible
They're like,
dilemma.
come on, Stans,
Even if Dream
don't
wasn't looking
don't
for any
at
placement
us.
results,
Don't
getting
at
good
us.
RNG is just way more fun and
We're
entertaining
just
to
telling you
watch.
the truth.
You can't really fault the guy for wanting a more enjoyable casual experience. The only problem is if he was passing it off as an officially legitimate speedrun.
You're still
Again,
gonna
our
get the
collective decision as
Stans. You're
moderators
still
is
gonna
just
get
based
the
on the
Stans,
objective math,
though.
not the theories or feelings around it. But by every metric we've tried, it seems that Dream's odds are just unexplainable. In closing, I want to address one important point raised by Dream. As Dream likes to point out, just because the odds of his luck happening are in the trillions, it doesn't mean that's the same chance of him cheating. I mean, with Illumina's considerably lucky 92% odds, it doesn't mean that there was a 92% chance of him cheating. But the thing that Dream misses is that the odds for the event and the odds for cheating are still correlated. If you perform an infinitesimally unlikely event, then you can be extremely confident that something went wrong that allowed it to happen. Just because something is possible doesn't mean that it's at all feasible. Here the numbers are just so large that they outweigh any conceivable subjective opinion. I'm sure that lots of Dream fans out there will naturally defend Dream, despite the evidence. After all, the more confident you are that Dream wouldn't cheat, the less this evidence should convince you. But you would need to be almost impossibly certain that Dream wouldn't cheat in order for this not to be convincing evidence. Even giving Dream the benefit of the doubt as much as possible, as moderators, there's no real option other than to deem these runs as illegitimate.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, dude. I don't know. No, I do know. Like, I've known for a long time. I've been pretty sure.
Hello, you absolute legends. Speedrunning has changed. Back when I began this hobby, the most notoriety you could ever hope to achieve was having your name printed in the high score section of a magazine.
We're not gonna watch this whole thing, though.
Of course, no one else would care, but it was cool nonetheless. Speedrunning websites were far too niche for anyone but the speedrunners themselves.
We'll watch it until he gets into math, chat.
Even know they existed. No one knew what speedrunning was, no one cared what speedrunning was, and outside of the small group of people you competed with, there was no popularity to be gained. Nowadays, the biggest speedrunners have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of followers. I personally think this is a great thing, and I love the fact that something I've enjoyed for many years is starting to gain traction in the wider gaming community. But increases in popularity don't just bring positive changes. There are catches that need to be considered and addressed. Cheating has always existed in speedrunning, as it has in every competition, but in the past, it was just something that was addressed within communities, and there was no public spectacle about it. When a speedrunner with 14 million subscribers gets accused of cheating by a community, it's a big deal, whether you want it to be or not. The YouTuber Dream has the biggest following in speedrunning history, and on the 12th of December, one of his Minecraft speedruns was removed from the leaderboards under the assumption that it was achieved while cheating. More specifically, he was accused of modifying his game to give himself increased luck. Dream, for his part, completely denies these allegations, assuring his fanbase he is innocent. Many people are confused about who to believe. Understandably so, as the crux of the original argument stemmed from complex mathematics and unimaginable numbers like 1 in 7.5 trillion. The simple reality is that most people will not, and likely cannot, understand the evidence being put forth by both parties. Many people have jumped to their own conclusions,
that
which
is
typical
true.
human behavior, but many people are also unsure and are unwilling to make a judgment either way. A lot of people perceive me to be an expert in this area, and are curious as to what my conclusion might be. Well, in this video, my conclusion is what you're going to get. Unlike many other channels who covered this scandal as soon as it broke, I specifically waited to hear both sides of the story before even attempting to pass judgment. Too many times people have been destroyed by allegations that ended up being completely dismantled by the defending party. Patience is a virtue, and it's not one that many possess. Even if the conclusion doesn't change, people deserve the right to present their case.
I wish
in this
Twitch
video,
politics
three things.
like operated
Summarize
like
the
this.
evidence of both sides, explain how and why something like this might happen, and provide my thoughts on whether
Can
or
you
not
imagine if
Dream is
people were like,
guilty
no wait,
based
I
on
want to
my own
make sure I
research.
get both
hope you
sides of
enjoy.
the story before I decide.
Now, before we go on, if you look behind me, you'll notice I have some epic new posters, and they come courtesy of
More
this
likely,
video's
I'm
sponsor,
gonna see
Displate. Displate offers legendary
agreeing
metal
with
posters
which
that not
person
only
can
look
benefit
awesome, but
me
are also
most.
extremely easy to
Okay,
mount,
then that's
requiring
the
no
person
tools
that's right.
and leaving no lasting marks. These artworks are created by
Okay,
really
that is
talented
inline
artists, and with
advertising,
1.4
yes.
million artworks available,
I
there are a
recognize
ton of
that.
great options. Steve Sale, where you can get up to
You will be asking, who is
Nice
Dream?
camera, though.
Dream is an extremely popular Minecraft YouTuber who exploded in popularity over the
Okay,
past
if anybody
2
doesn't
years,
know who
going from
fucking
nothing
Dream
in early
is.
2019 to currently having around 15 million subscribers. Dream did not find success on YouTube through speedrunning, but instead created popular videos that are either funny or covering interesting topics, whether that would be explaining Minecraft mechanics or modding the game to create cool effects. By the end of 2019, he had already started amassing a huge audience, pulling in millions of views per month. But Dream didn't truly shine until 2020, where his channel exploded.
Sorry, I'm trying
Part
to
of
make
his success
Minecraft
was due
villager
to a new
noises.
series he started producing called Minecraft Manhunt. He marketed the videos with titles like Minecraft Speedrunner vs. Assassin, and the premise is that he attempts to speedrun the game while being hunted by one or more human players. I think this type of marketing strategy is really good for speedrunning as a whole, as it's important to remind people that speedrunners are legitimately skilled at the games they choose to play, even outside of trying to beat games quickly. In March, Dream started submitting official speedruns to the speedrun.com leaderboards, even attaining multiple world records. It's fair to say he is extremely knowledgeable and talented at the game. On the 23rd of June, something very important happened. Java Edition 1.16 was released. On the Minecraft speedrun leaderboards, you will notice that the leaderboards are split into 3 sections: pre-1.9, 1.9 to 1.15, and 1.16 plus. The reason each category splits these versions into different leaderboards is that the strategies that can be applied are vastly different depending on the version you play. Whenever a Minecraft update is released, it may affect a core mechanic that might enable better, faster strategies. And in the case of 1.16,
to people
this
who don't
is
play
exactly what happened.
Minecraft,
Now, players were able to barter with the neutral mobs in the nether,
it's gonna
called
sound weird.
piglins. Piglins love
see,
gold, and when you give a
1.6,
piglin a
and then
gold
there's
ingot, it will
there's
return the favor when they bring them
1.9,
item.
and there's
There are many
post
items a piglin
1.9.
can give you, but when it comes to speedrunning, we
It's
are
just
only interested in
updates,
one
you know,
particular
it's just like,
item, and
yeah,
that
like
item
what you
is
can
ender
do,
pearls.
what the
In
drop
order to
rates
understand why
are,
ender
all
pearls are
those
so
things
important, we
that
need to
get
know the
buffed
end
or,
goal of the game. In order to beat
buffed
Minecraft, which is
or
obviously the point of these speedruns,
debuffed.
we need to
Debuffed.
defeat
I'm
the
like,
Ender
what's the other
Dragon.
thing?
The Ender
Debuffed.
Dragon resides in a separate dimension that can only be
Nerfed.
accessed through the
That's
end
the-
portal. In order for an end portal to
I
be
know-
active,
I know
each
that
of the
word.
12 surrounding blocks need to be filled in with an item called
I
Eye
think
of
people
Ender.
mostly say
Eyes of
debuffed,
Ender can
though.
only be
I
obtained
think
through
nerfed is, like,
crafting, and in order to craft an Eye of
old school or
Ender, you
something.
need 2 items, an Ender Pearl and Blaze Powder. So without being bogged down in these specifics like food management and the collection of tools, etc., the aim of a speedrun is to acquire Ender Pearls and Blaze Powder, craft Eyes of Ender, find an end portal which is located in a stronghold, enter the end, and defeat the
Wait,
Ender
you also
Dragon.
gotta get the
This is
beds.
why 1.16 was so game-changing.
You gotta get
As
the
collecting
beds
Ender
from the
Pearls through
village
barters with piglins
so that
is
you can
much
blow up
faster
the,
than the
you
previous
gotta get the
strategies.
gold.
There is a catch though. When you give gold to a piglin, the odds of them giving you Ender Pearls is only 4.7%. These odds aren't great. They are slightly improved by the fact that you can barter with multiple piglins, but ultimately, many runs ended right here because the piglins refused to cooperate. If you do get lucky, you can save a bunch of time,
Just
which
push
is
the
why
ball
the world
into there
record with
and-
1.16 is 5 minutes faster than the previous versions. But if you don't get lucky, there is nothing you can do but reset and try again. Minecraft was already heavily dependent on luck factors, and this new mechanic just made things much worse. Players would spend days or weeks without finishing a single run, because they simply couldn't get the
Oh my
Ender Pearls
God.
from piglins.
That's
On
annoying.
top of this, you also needed to get lucky and find a fortress within the Nether. The fortress is a necessity because it houses blaze spawners, which spawn
And sometimes
blazes.
you, like,
when you kill a
sometimes
blaze,
you, like,
it has a
run
50%
all around
chance
the
of dropping
Nether,
a blaze
and
rod.
it's like-
Remember blaze powder?
There's one there
half of the
somewhere,
ingredients
but
required for Eyes of Ender, you get
unlike
it from
the,
blaze rods. So the Nether is a very special
unlike
place
the
in
End
1.16.
Fortress,
You get
there's
Ender
nothing
Pearls
you
from
can do to,
piglins
like,
and blaze rods
have it
from
point you
blazes,
in the direction.
both essential
There's
ingredients
no,
to
like,
creating
nothing you can
Eyes of
throw
Ender.
to be like, oh,
The
it's
Nether
over this
was also
way.
a
Yeah,
frustrating
it's
place,
not.
and many players voiced their dissatisfaction about how
implement
much
something
RNG
like
the
Nether
new runs
Pearls?
needed,
Chat, Nether
including
Pearls.
Dream, who lamented about
Nether
his lack
Pearls.
of luck.
There should
But
be
thankfully,
Nethermen,
Dream's luck
and they're
was about to
like
change.
red Endermen, and they maybe they come out
Several
in the
months
day.
later, in October,
They only
Dream
come
would
out in the
stream his
day.
attempts at speedrunning 1.16.
I don't know, chat.
He performed 6 streams, totaling 24 hours of speedruns, concluding with a new personal best of 19 minutes and 25 seconds. Dream's streams were incredibly popular, with tens of thousands of spectators, and it wasn't just casual viewers, but speedrunners as well. One such speedrunner was Minecravenger, who holds the world record in the any % set seed category.
Minecravenger, I love
is
the
very
name.
experienced with the game, and noticed something strange about Dream's streams. Dream seemed to be experiencing very high luck, and was getting pearl trades much more often than you would expect. After noticing this discrepancy, he went through every stream and collated the data for every trade that was visible. His findings showed that instead of trading pearls at a rate of 4.7%, piglins were trading pearls at a rate of 15%, 3 times higher. Minecravenger tweeted out his findings, which slowly but surely began to stir doubt among players and moderators alike. If the data was true, this was extremely concerning, as consistently getting trades at this higher rate is so improbable that there could only be one explanation: tampering with the game. The Minecraft speedrunning moderators immediately began their investigation. They needed to be absolutely sure that the raw data was correct. You can't form a reliable conclusion using incorrect numbers. They needed to track every trade over a 24-hour period, and they needed to do this multiple times to make sure there were no mistakes. The final tally was 42 Ender Pearl trades out of 262 total trades, which amounts to an average pearl trade rate of 16%, more than 3 times higher than normal. The probability of getting this many trades is 1 in 177 billion. This is already incredibly strange, but the rabbit hole was about to get much
Even deeper, yes.
Given that doubt had begun surrounding the legitimacy of Dream's runs due to these improbable events, people started to investigate other random elements. Do you remember the 2 items we needed to collect to create Eyes of Ender? The first were Ender Pearls, and the second were Blaze Rods. When the data surrounding the drop rate for Blaze Rods was collected, it showed that Dream collected 211 rods out of 305 Blaze kills. This totals just shy of 70%. Given that the standard drop rate for Blaze Rods is 50%, the probability of having this many drops is 1 in 113 billion. It just so happened that the very 2 items you needed to collect in order to reach the end were dropped at almost impossible rates. When combined, the probability of this happening is 1 in 20 sextillion. This number is so large, or small, however you want to look at it, that it is totally and utterly incomprehensible. The moderation team proceeded to spend 2 months investigating and confirming these probabilities. Statistics is a complicated field, and there are some unintuitive pitfalls that can lead to some biased conclusions. They wanted to be certain that if they did suggest Dream had altered his drop rates, they had very, very good evidence. On the 12th of December, the moderation team released a paper outlining their calculations and conclusion, which was accompanied by a video uploaded to YouTube by one of the moderators, Geosquare. The paper stated that the only sensible conclusion that can be drawn is that Dream's game was modified in order to manipulate the barter and drop rates. In their calculations, they provided a final probability of 1 in 7.5 trillion. This is already unlikely, but it's also slightly misleading. This figure was the probability that anyone in the Minecraft speedrunning community would ever get luck in any variable that was comparable to Dream's. The actual probability of Dream getting this luck in the specific way he did was far, far lower. In conjunction with the release of their paper, the Minecraft moderators also removed Dream's speedrun from the leaderboard. This caused a huge public reaction, with many YouTubers covering the story, and the video uploaded by Geosquare amassed millions of views.
Keemstar?
This forced Dream to respond, which he did. On the 23rd of December, Dream uploaded a response video,
Chat, do you think I'm the
accompanied by a
Keemstar
report
of
written by
Twitch
an anonymous
politics?
third party Dream had hired to review the moderators' findings. In the video, Dream claimed that the moderators were wrong, and that the actual odds were much lower. The figure provided in the document was 1 in 100 million. However, again, this wasn't the probability that Dream got this lucky, it was the probability that anyone got this lucky ever. But Dream's expert didn't just extend the scope to speedrunners, which is what the original paper did. This new report considers that if 100,000 people played Minecraft, there is a 1 in 100 million chance that a single person would ever get that luck. This response paper was not received well by those with a background in math or statistics. Numerous critical and basic errors were cited, but at the end of the day, I don't think arguing about math will get us any closer to the truth. The Minecraft moderators stand by their original calculations and claim that the math Dream's expert put forth is incorrect. So where do we go from here? Luckily, there is a way we can make further progress to confirming the true odds. Now, we are going to look at simulations.
Oh, okay.
If you wanted to know the true probability of certain insane luck factors occurring in Minecraft, you might think we would have to play Minecraft for trillions and trillions of years and tally the results. But luckily, this isn't a requirement. The mechanics of Minecraft are governed by code, and code is all you need to accurately simulate particular outcomes. Dream played 24 hours of Minecraft and totaled 262 trades with piglins and 305 blaze kills. It might take a human 24 hours to do this, but a computer can run the exact same underlying code literally millions of times per second. Ultimately, we can, and have, run trillions and trillions of simulations to see what kind of drops we could expect. So the question is, after trillions and trillions of simulations, do we see the type of luck that Dream experienced? The answer is no. In fact, it's not even close. There are many different simulations being run by many different people, and not a single one has come anywhere near the types of rates that Dream experienced. For all intents and purposes, it is impossible to replicate what happened. The results of multiple simulations have also been cross-checked with the same math used by the moderators to find Dream's odds, and they agree with the results. This means that figures such as 1 in a million, 1 in 10 million, or even 1 in 100 million are demonstrably false. Now, before I proceed to my conclusion, I need to address the question of why a good player might cheat. Many people suggested that because Dream was good, there would be no reason for him to cheat. But the distinction that needs to be made is that speedrunning is not just about skill, it's also heavily reliant on luck. And it doesn't matter how good you are, if you don't get the luck you need, you simply can't get the time that you're truly capable of. In my experience, when it comes to luck-based games, players don't cheat to get a faster time, they cheat to get a time faster. In order to understand how slight increases in probability affect the investment required when grinding for a time, I will use an example for something that I did myself. The most famous world record I ever achieved was a time of 52 seconds on Damn Agent in GoldenEye 007. Hundreds of people have 53 seconds, but I am the only one with 52. But that's not because I'm the best player. In fact, there are quite a few players out there that would be capable of achieving 52 seconds. The reason I have the time and no one else does is because I'm the only person that has put in enough time to get the required luck you need. The main issue is that in order to get 52 seconds, you likely need 3 guard boosts, but each of them is pretty rare. It is so rare that I can only recall getting all 3 boosts in a single run, a total of 3 times, in 250 hours of play. 250 hours is a long time to play the same minute-long level over and over again. If it were a full-time job, it would take 6 weeks to match, and that's not including time spent researching strategy optimizations. Now, let's say I doubled the chances of one of those 3 guards boosting me forwards. The resulting probability would still be very small, and honestly, probably wouldn't ever be detected by anyone watching, but it would ultimately make a huge difference on how much time I would need to spend playing. Instead of playing for 250 hours, I may have only needed to play 125 hours. If I doubled the chances of all 3 guards boosting me, I may have only needed to play just over 30 hours. And again, doubling a tiny number still results in a tiny number, but it has massive implications over many runs. Let's assume for a moment that Dream did increase the Ender Pearl barter rates. How much time did he ultimately save? Well, given that there are multiple barters per run, the increased odds compound very quickly. On average, in order to get the same barter luck as Dream, you would need to play between 300 to 900 hours, and this is before even considering the increased drop rates for blaze rods. Hundreds of hours is a long time, but this is what Minecraft speedrunners put into the game in order to get the crazy times they do. Hundreds of hours is a big investment for anyone, but for someone like Dream especially, I would guess many of you have no idea how absurd the monetary value of those hours actually is.
Yeah.
People might ask, why speedrun at all, if you don't
Even
want to
for
deal with
me.
the randomness? Well, the simple fact of the matter is that
I mean,
speedrunning
and I'm
is
nothing,
fun.
right?
While many people don't enjoy the lottery aspect, almost every other element is fantastic. Video games are fun to play, and not everyone is going to be an esports pro. Speedrunning gives us a way to compete in a casual and fun way. The luck element is likely the worst part, and many people who still enjoy speedrunning just don't want to deal with it. Now, it is time to finally find out, did Dream actually cheat? I have spent the last few weeks
And we all kind of
engrossed in this
know
entire
the answer
scandal.
to that.
I have read the reports, conversed with experts, listened to the interviews, read the Reddit posts, and many people were sending me pieces of information because they knew I was going to make a video. Most of the issues people expressed to me, in my opinion, were distractions or based too heavily on emotions. I don't really care what people's opinions on Dream is. I'm not as concerned with questionable decisions Dream might have made, both in the past and in response to the cheating allegations. I also don't care to make people feel a certain way towards Dream after this video. Regardless of what I think, you should ultimately decide your own values and act accordingly. I wasn't a Dream fan, nor did I watch his content, but in my investigation, I watched a few of his videos and they were very entertaining. I completely understand why he is popular, and if anything, I see his success as an inspiration on what can be achieved. I also want to become more successful on YouTube, so it's a really good example of what's possible. But ultimately, all I can do is look at the facts. The Ender Pearl barter rates and blaze rod drop rates in Dream streams are for all intents and purposes mathematically impossible. Dream and his anonymous expert may beg to differ, but unfortunately, their conclusions do not match with the trillions and trillions of simulations that have already been performed. The math that the moderators put forth does match with the simulations, however, making them more credible. But aside from the raw math, the fact that Dream experienced these increased rates in the perfect way to benefit a speedrunner makes it even more damning. The very two items that were causing speedrunners so much frustration were the very same ones that were affected. On top of this, Dream's behavior doesn't help his case. Before these streams, Dream publicly complained and expressed dissatisfaction around these exact items. Afterwards, Dream was intentionally deceptive, stating that the run was only a 16th place time, when in fact it was 4th place when submitted. But even this is deceptive. Up until the very end, Dream's run was world record pace, entering the end portal room ahead of the world record at the time. The only reason the run ended up slower was because there weren't enough Eyes of Ender already placed in the end portal, forcing him to look for more pearls. Dream's increased luck did set him up for the world record, and he likely would have achieved it if it weren't for external factors preventing him from doing so. That same misleading tweet also falsely claimed that the investigation was about whether the run had too good luck.
Did I watch the
But
wrong
run itself did
speedrun?
not directly impact the conclusion of the investigation. The investigation was surrounding his entire 6 streams, totaling 24 hours of play.
I remember
This misleading statement caused many of his fans to have the incorrect assertion about what happened.
He jumped
this
right
deception
into
can't
the,
be an accident, as Dream was exactly aware of what the investigation was about.
He, like,
for
jumped
2
right into the
months.
portal and
Lies
put
and
a
deception
block
don't
down, and then
necessarily
he went
confirm
pop, pop,
someone
pop,
cheated, but they
and-
do put into
and it-
question everything they say after that point. If you publicly lie once, the next words that come out of your mouth shouldn't be
Did I watch
trusted.
the wrong one?
Dream's
Did we
response
watch the
video
wrong
was
one,
also
chat?
misleading, but I don't automatically hold that against him. Everyone deserves the right to defend themselves, and
mean,
the
it could have
inaccuracies
been
presented
another
in the video
record?
may just simply come down to ignorance of the subject matter.
1.6
Given all of the available
is the
facts,
one
I
that
believe
we're
the
talking
only
about,
reasonable
right?
conclusion is that Dream was playing
Oh
on a
my
version of
God.
Minecraft that had been altered in order to give himself an unfair advantage. The how and why are
There were
something that
multiple
likely can never be
attempts, but
answered
that one was
definitively
22
unless Dream decides to share that himself. This is
Maybe
because
these
there
are-
are multiple
okay.
ways of achieving the same goal. In saying
So wait,
all of this,
these-
I am not ignorant of the
why
fact
are-
that many
why
people
are
will
the
ignore evidence
non-world
and believe
record
what they want to believe.
runs
And honestly,
an
I don't
issue
really
then?
care about trying to persuade those
Would it
people.
just
I am
support the
mainly
idea that
invested
he
in the
was
speedrunning
cheating?
community itself, and it
That-
seems to
that
be
he
fairly
had been
unanimous in the
cheating,
conclusion
basically?
that Dream cheated. At the end of the day, the RNG manipulation was spotted and the run was invalidated. The public nature of the event will also likely dissuade people from trying to do the same in the future. What I will say is that if anyone is attacked for believing Dream cheated, this is likely due to malevolence. The evidence is so overwhelmingly stacked in a single direction that you cannot and should not blame anyone for coming to the only rational conclusion. Conversely, if someone wants to
As we
believe
all
Dream is
know,
innocent, that is their right,
the only
and they
good
also shouldn't be
stands
attacked.
are Vriska
Conversation about this
stands.
topic is great.
Okay.
After all, it's an extremely interesting story, but arguments over this particular issue don't seem to be worth the cost. As always, thank you so
And
much for watching,
NCC
you absolute
stands.
legends.
And
I hope you are
NCC
having a
stands.
fantastic
Yeah.
day, and I will see you in the next video.
They're okay too.
This is rigged against me.
And in my favor.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Wait, was that Markiplier?
A little bit
was
here.
that Markiplier? Did Markiplier do a video?
Make sure you hit that.
Oh, please tell me Markiplier did a video.
Hello, you absolute
No, this is
legends.
Carl Jobs.
Speedrunning has
Like, who
changed.
the fuck was that
Back when I
next
began
one?
this hobby, the most notoriety you could ever hope to achieve
No,
was having your name
Chad.
printed in the high score
It
section
sounded like
of a magazine.
Markiplier, didn't it?
Of course, no one else would care.
I don't think
but it was cool
Markiplier does
nonetheless.
videos, though,
Speedrunning
right? Isn't he,
websites were
like-
far too niche for anyone but...
Anyway.
Ladies and gentlemen, we might be poking the bear's nest a little bit here. If
Yeah,
you
you
guys
are.
haven't subscribed
Yeah,
already,
you
make sure
are.
you hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button as we journey into the saga.
Vriska did nothing
Minecraft.
wrong. I know, right?
We are going to be today venturing into the now famed Dream speedrun of 1924. Now, basically, this is the speedrun that I believe was entered in to the speedrunning, I guess, like official.
The one we watched was like
forums.
20 minutes.
Like basically, this is where they compile and they have all of the world record speedruns. Now, it's not the fastest time in the world. It wouldn't even be the world record if this counted today. But essentially, what happened is the moderators over there drew up like a 27-page document about why Dream cheated and basically used RNG manipulators in his game to make his RNG so good that it became out to something like 1 in 7.5 trillion. Like absolutely insane RNG that no one could get. And then even when you account for all the biases in his favor, it still isn't. Do I know it? Do I know if he cheated? Bro, what do I look like? A Minecraft expert? I react to videos on YouTube. But that being said, I thought it could be super, super entertaining to watch the speedrun and see what this quote-unquote cheated speedrun looks like.
Wait, is he a stan?
I don't
Is this
know.
are we watching this? Is this somebody that's going to be like, yeah, there's no way Dream cheated?
So,
What do you
without
mean?
further ado, this is the famed Dream speedrun that everybody is talking about now.
No, we watched this, right?
It was like 10 minutes deep, and I was like,
No, they all look the same, don't they? They all. No, wait, I swear to God, this is the one we watched.
Pointing out, which is kind of funny.
I love how I think I remember. I'm like, no, I remember that tree. That tree. I totally remember him.
This is why speedrunning is such a difficult thing to do, because really you're only good if you're like the best. You know what I mean?
There's a lava pool here too.
Oh my gosh, wait, dude. One thing you can't deny, you literally can't deny, is Dream is absolutely
no. We watched this. We watched this.
Insane at the game. Like I have never seen somebody this good at Minecraft. So it's definitely just a case of
how
like,
long is he?
He's good enough
to
do this run. Obviously, he's insanely good at the game. It's just basically when you get to speedrunning maps.
I wonder what he's like, because people, you know, Minecraft players by what version of the game they entered on.
When you get to speedrunning something like this,
like if you're beta,
straight up.
If you were in it back when it was beta, or if you were in it when it was alpha,
to make your run better.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do. You just have to get lucky. And when you're a streamer, every time you don't get lucky, it's bad for your views. So I don't know, man. I think it's a tough situation for like speedrunners to be in, just in general. Anytime there's RNG involved, which is why I kind of wish that RNG type speedruns were less of a thing, or like bare minimum RNG. It happens with Call of Duty. It happens with this game. It happens with basically every single game I like can think of. It's kind of insane. So anyway, I actually learned a little bit of how this speedrun works and everything that he's doing. So I know a little bit better, because you guys know last time I did this, I literally knew nothing about Minecraft, but I've actually done the research. I figured out like pretty much maybe not like I'm an expert, like I know every single thing he's doing,
but
I actually understand each step of the speedrun, if that makes sense.
The only other house with a bed.
I actually understand that part of like every step, and then maybe not the nuances of like ins and outs of everything.
We'll make it work.
But basically what he's done so far that he needs, he's gotten stone tools. He has gotten food. That's what the hay that he just mined was. He's gotten a little bit of beds. He needs a lot more. He needs a lot more beds right now. He's found a lava pit, which he needs to get into the nether. And he's found he's gotten flint and steel ready, basically. And he needs to do flint and steel to and the bucket rather, to get into the nether. So does he?
Okay,
does he
so
just go in?
Look.
Oh, he does.
We're gonna watch one more, chat. We're gonna watch Asmongold.
So
Asmongold. I don't know how to say this dude's name. I'm not old school enough on Twitch to be into this dude, but apparently a lot of people are.
This is a gentleman. His name is Dream. It says about speedrunning. Now he's made a massive post about this. I feel like this is something important to talk
reacting
about.
To the
I've been
news
very withheld for a while
admitted.
about it, and I've just decided it'd be best to let it out so I can feel relaxed a little bit more, I guess. This will be a very long read, I'm sure. I'm writing this in my bath at 4 a.m. on the phone, so forgive any mistakes or confusing bits.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Wait, he's writing it on the
November of
2020
2020 for the first
phone.
time
Okay.
since I was since
That's
1.16.
a weird place to type out on Twit longer. Chat.
I tried to go for a
Chat.
speed run to get some decent time.
Chat.
My goal was to get a time faster than 25 minutes, which was a good time and fairly.
So if you don't know, paste bin is just like the I don't know, coders version of like I don't know, it's not really just coders, but you know what I mean. It's basically like a Twit longer, like it's what he's doing, right? This is basically like a Twit longer, but like it maybe without the connotations that a Twit longer has taken.
Attainable at the time without spending months speed.
But he's saying he's writing this in the bathroom, like fucking in his phone. Like really?
After running for about a week, I got a 19
I hate typing on my phone.
15-minute time that arguably could have been lower, ironically due to bad luck. I started running in 1.115 directly after. A few days after, there were some suspicions involving my streamed runs on 1.16.
Hey, chat.
At this point, I was cooperative
If
but
I,
upset and confused that I was being questioned. I provided all the information that I could, and
if like I don't know, let's just say that like that I had done something similar. Would it be better if I like admitted that to you, or like would you forgive me if I had cheated in a video game? In a very competitive esport video game, if it was true that like would you hate me for that, or would you be like glad that I admitted to it? What do you think, chat? Just throwing it out there, just hypothetically.
assumed that everything was fine. As the chatter grew, I was confused and the numbers didn't look to be in my favor. At this point, I reached out to the only Mojang developer that I had contact with and talked for an hour or so about what was going on. I told him the details and was asking if there was potential for a bug or glitch, and he told me that no, there isn't, and said some things about how banning for luck seems far-fetched and they should improve their system. I felt a little reassured, but also angry that I was potentially being dragged for absolutely nothing. This wasn't a huge thing yet, but it lingered in my mind, and I couldn't really think about anything other than it. This is about a Minecraft speedrun, guys.
Yeah.
This is a big deal.
Is it as big of a deal as Among
many
Us?
weeks passed, I grew more and more frustrated.
Chat.
Convinced that I was being targeted due to the fact that I was a YouTuber and a couple of mods, self-admitted, didn't like me at all and didn't have any kind words to say. I was an asshole and I lashed out publicly,
you know what you should have
saying
done
the
is
investigation
recorded
was
those
a farce
mods
and
in their
expressing how
Discord.
pissed I was
That's
that
how
I
you
was
take care of
being
that
targeted
issue.
and that it was taking so long as the mods were giving me deadlines and missing them. This was terribly stupid for me to do, and I was scared and stressed, and I did shitty things. I regret it, and I really wish that I had been able to keep my calm. It's the way it goes. Later that month, the speedrun team released a video and a document detailing why my 1.16 run couldn't have been legitimate based on math and statistics. I admittedly don't know shit about math and statistics. I didn't go to college, and I hated math my whole life. At this point, I felt complete fear. I felt like I had been publicly smeared in a way that I had no clue how to respond to. I didn't understand the math, and I didn't understand why I had been left in the dark for so long, only to have a video dropped randomly on the night before MCC. I think that's Minecraft Convention or Minecraft Con. At this point before, I had multiple speedrun moderators message me. Let me actually resize this real quick so you guys can read it. At this point before, I had multiple speedrun moderators messaging me scary things about it was a shit show and how no one could agree on things before the release. They were clearly biased against me and so on. In retrospect, this may have been out of fear of wanting to be on the good side of a really big YouTuber, or maybe they were just being truthful a little bit too much. A little bit of both. All I know is that it scared me a lot. Feeling like everything you built might come tumbling down and there's nothing you can do about it is really stressful. Again, I lashed out. I tweeted that the mods being clout chasers, and I said a lot of really dicky things. I was pissed, I was scared, and I was being an idiot. Shortly after, someone gave me the idea to hire a professional statistician because I know nothing about math. This calmed me down a lot and brought me back to a much healthier mindset. I Googled and I ended up finding 2 professors that I emailed both about my situation asking for assistance. Only one of them was available to help. Oh my god. So this guy hired, yeah, this is what I knew about
this
it.
Is all
so
on
he
his
basically
phone
hired
while he's sitting on the crapper.
a math professor, or I don't know what hired. He
Chat,
enlisted.
Dream is
I don't
just
know if
sitting
he
on
paid him
there.
or not. but he enlisted a
You know what I'm
math
saying?
professor to help prove that his Minecraft run
Dream's
was
sitting
real.
on his toilet just
I was looking for help.
typing
I
this
told him I
out,
didn't
chat.
cheat,
Can you imagine?
and I just needed a second opinion on
Yeah,
the
it's
math.
gotta be one
Eventually,
long-ass
the professor
dump.
came back with the conclusion
That's
that
all
the
I have to
mod's
say.
numbers were off by a significant margin.
That was one long
And it's
dump,
possible, although
Dream.
extremely unlikely. Again, not completely understanding math, but knowing that my expert's opinions seemed to be that the mods were off, I felt vindicated and relieved. I made a video about it and expressed the professor's views. People hounded me for it, saying that that the astrophysicist was fake, but the mods confirmed it was legit. I just wanted an unbiased party's opinion. The mods
That's who
came
you
back with a
consulted.
response, correcting the professor and
Who
saying
should
that
I
he was
consult,
off
chat,
and
for the
providing reasons
Amogus,
for
though?
why. Again, I don't understand complicated math, so I sent it directly to the
Maybe
professor
I'll get,
asking
like,
for his
a
thoughts.
bioethicist
Later on, he came
or,
back
like,
admitting that there were mistakes in his original assessment.
Agrarian.
Holy
Should I get a...
shit. So the mods are
Wait, it's not
fucking,
called an agrarian.
the
What's
mods
it
have
called?
figured out
Agronomist.
that they
Let's
know
get an
more about this than
agronomist.
the professor? What the fuck?
An agronomist
Okay,
can totally
dude, this game's
verify whether...
serious. In his
Maybe we
rebuttal,
could get
though, he
Lysenko
came to the conclusion that it's improbable that I didn't cheat.
To say that I didn't
So
cheat
it's
at
improbable
Amogus.
that he didn't. So okay, so it's
Do you think so,
probable
chat?
that he,
Should I
so it
hire
means
Lysenko?
that Dream probably cheated. Yeah. I feel like I did the right thing to post his findings, even though he hadn't asked me to yet. I did. I tweeted them out and replied saying that I agree, and it seems more likely than not that I cheated. I didn't say anything more than that. Funnily enough, he actually emailed me a day or two later saying that I need to post his findings or he will, semi-threatening or not in a mean way. And I responded that I had already done it before I'd even asked. Okay. At this point, I was lost. Jesus. At this point, I was lost. And I was fairly confused about the whole thing, wondering what other options were and exploring the possibilities. As much as I was confident that I didn't cheat, I had never explored the option that I had possibly did. Due to the way that I reacted to the mods, perceived everything going on,
maybe
and
I didn't
convinced
think
that
that
they
I
were out to
cheated
get
at
me,
Among
I tunnel
Us.
visioned and was paranoid, and I
Maybe I
didn't think
did.
straight. I had plenty
Maybe
of
I
valid
accidentally
reasons to
cheated.
believe they weren't impartial, and I had the mod team. I had been completely friendly from the beginning, and I believe it never would have gotten to this point that it did. Oh, if he was friendly with the mod team. That makes sense. After considering this, I ended up finding out that I actually had been using a disallowed modification during 6 of my live streams on Twitch. At this time, we were just starting to record videos on 1.16, and we had just hired a developer to help with coding mods for videos because me and George had no experience with mods, only plugins. One of the mods that they were working on was an overall recording mod that I have used in every video since around the speedrun controversy. You may notice it in my videos due to F3 being small or particles being reduced, or recently on my streams, things like background being custom or Dream servers option being plenty of other features and improvements. So we had a mod installed. So, like, does the mod give him, like, a higher chance of having, like, that certain type of run?
Well, it sounds like he's talking about
Why
a
would the
recording mod, though.
In our challenge videos.
But it's actually altering Minecraft code,
Before
so...
1.16. We always
Maybe?
increase the Enderman spawn rates and the
why would
pearl
it-
drop rates out of convenience, and we've mentioned that openly
Oh.
before. It makes the videos better because we don't need to spend hours looking for pearls or spend so much time farming blaze rods. A totally RNG
But that's
thing.
the whole
mostly
point of a
pearls.
fucking... That's
Whenever
the whole point of a
1.16 came
speedrun.
out, it was more
Dude,
complicated to
I think he's
increase
playing
the,
dumb.
pillaging
Chad, do you think
trades
he's
then
playing dumb?
than the
Dream's not
Enderman
dumb.
pearl drops. A
Dream's
server
acting like
side
a
plugin was
bimbo.
made for our
Okay.
videos that slightly increased
But I'm not sure Dream
the
is
rates.
actually a hembo. I think Dream might be faking.
Around this time is whenever the first versions of the recording
Dream-
mod are being made.
Is this
Although
stolen
it was
dollar,
more of a
Dream?
chat mod at this point.
Are you a fake hembo?
I considered this
Are
time
you actually
potentially
smart?
could have been a problem, but brush it off because one, the server-side client are completely
Damn.
different, and I was aware that nothing had been done client-side, and two, as far
This
as
is
I
long.
know, just basically
This
chat
is
and
long.
Star 3. I was 99% sure that I didn't even have a recording mod on.
Like
which is
NCC
backed
drama
up by the
long,
Fabric
chat. This is
API log
long.
saying that only the Fabric API was loaded. This was mentioned in my original response video. I ended up thinking that it's basically the only explanation after Professor came back with what he did. I talked with the developer and ended up finding out that when working with the mod stuff, he had added some improvements from our challenge servers to the client-side mod so that they would work in single player for videos like the shot collar videos or other single player mod videos. This was only in an early rendition of the mod and was removed because the developer realized that these types of videos can be done on a PC-hosted server. I see. I see. Okay.
I'm fucking glazing, chat. I'm glazing.
A couple of other things.
He's not stupid. Dream is not stupid, chat. I am stupid. Okay, I'm a bimbo.
Ender had a low
Dream,
chance of
I'm not
breaking
sure
whenever
you are.
thrown.
I don't think you are actual
a
bimbo.
much higher percentage. When I realized
I think
this,
you're
I felt
faking
an
it.
extreme sense of guilt, and I took down my response
No,
video,
dude, this is
not
some
believing in
fake
what I said
shit.
in the video at all anymore. This was a couple of months ago.
He's
At this point,
stupid.
I believe.
Okay, I don't know. I
When
don't
the
know,
drama
chat. It just
first
feels.
started,
It
I
feels
cared
to me
more
like
about
he's playing
defending
stupid.
myself and being right.
What do you think?
Than about figuring out what was actually going on.
He's playing stupid.
And I shot myself in the foot doing it.
I don't know, chat.
I feel really
I don't know.
terrible for the mods because I dragged them through the mud, even though they were mostly right. I still feel as though the mod team was extremely unprofessional when dealing with it, but they're a group of volunteers just trying to do their job, and in their eyes, I was some cheating sob YouTuber, son of a bitch YouTuber, there you go, who didn't care at all. Maybe in their position, I would have treated me the same. I was an asshole back to them, which didn't help at all either. I mean, that seems pretty, yeah, I mean, that's...
Jeez, I wonder if I'll ever get an apology.
Let me finish.
Way after the fact when nobody's paying attention.
Okay. I reflected a lot about the entire thing and had a lot of regret about it just for the first few days of the runs. What if they had asked for my mod sooner? What if I had realized sooner? What if I hadn't had a history with a couple of the mods? Maybe I wouldn't have jumped straight into them being out to get me. Further past that, what if I had controlled my emotions and not blown the entire thing out of proportion? I can't live by what ifs though. So I was
How long is this text?
What I had.
Exactly.
I debated live streaming or making a video about it, but the drama had basically already passed, and I was worried about rekindling the fire that I had already basically gone through a couple of months straight of absolutely being shit on by anyone that didn't think of me favorably, and the mods had gone through weeks of torture, I'm sure, too. I figured it's out of the way, and this should be a story that I would tell in a few years whenever nobody cares. I told a couple of people, and I just felt like the community had been through enough drama, and it was pointless. I didn't want to be the center of controversy for the 100th time. It was shitty and unfortunate situation where I felt like I couldn't defend myself anymore in good faith without feeling bad. But I also didn't have any intention of cheating. So he didn't mean to cheat. This was an accident. Since the speedrun controversy, there's been some animosity between me and the mods, and I feel like the relationship only got worse. They just declined my donations from the controversy video, got into a drama a few times with me and my community on Twitter, don't want to go into specifics, and a month ago, added me to a chat questioning me about my previous 1.15 runs from about a year ago. They saw a suspicious black box that they thought meant a splice, but it turned out to be a YouTube setting on their end that they realized. This was resolved fairly maturely, and I believe I hadn't talked to them since. Yesterday around MCC, the mods made the decision to remove my old runs due to speculations and the fact that my 1.16 run was invalid, which is something that is done with most people who submit invalid runs at all. I'm sure there's been reasonable suspicions about most runs, especially offline ones from back whenever they were allowed. Okay.
Damn.
You can't give someone the benefit of the doubt on lag or frame skips or potential cuts, anything, unless they've earned it. And in this case, I haven't at all. So I don't want to see any hate towards the mods or any drama involving the fact that they were marked invalid to my 1.16 run. I think it's dumb that it's been 11 months later, but it's understandable if anything. I deserve it, and it puts an end to any potential drama. Jesus. I'm not really sure what I'm expecting out of all this. I just felt like I had a huge weight on my shoulder, and I wanted to get it off. I think the whole situation was extremely shitty overall for everyone involved, and I wish that I could go back and do things differently because of some of the worst weeks of my life, and it still impacts me every day. I'm sorry to anyone who I let down or disappointed. I always strive to be the best person.
What do you think about this music that asmongold's got, chat?
But I can't be,
so weird.
That I can't be here anywhere
just
near.
Play lo-fi.
I hope this brings some closure to the people
just
that
kidding.
needed it.
You can do what you want, asmongold. I'm not telling you.
I really want to move forward with positive vibes. Like
I'm not telling you how to run your channel.
To do. I'm trying to think, like, does this really matter a lot? I mean, like, the guy, like, everybody pretty much knew he cheated, and then now he's admitting that he cheated. He says he didn't know that it was happening. Like, I don't know if that's really the case or not. It's hard to say.
I feel like
I mean,
he's
of
playing
course,
stupid.
obviously, it could be that he's lying about that too. Maybe not. I have no idea.
But I'm not saying he's a liar.
The guy clearly admitted that he was
I'm not saying he's a liar.
He said that he cheated.
Dream did nothing wrong.
He came out
but
with
yeah, no, he totally
made
cheated.
this big post, and realistically, he
but
didn't
Dream did
have
nothing
to,
wrong.
Because this shit blew
There we
over
go.
a
There's my
while
radical
ago.
centrist position.
Like, this was from quite a while ago. He's trying to fix his rep. Well, that's not a bad thing. I mean, the thing is, like, if he's coming out and he's apologizing for the thing that he did wrong,
dude,
like,
it was a long time ago. Just let bygones be bygones. Dream did nothing wrong.
Like, what do you want to see him say besides this? I feel like this was pretty fair. Like, he admitted that he did something wrong. He said he acted like an asshole, and he apologized for it. What else needs to happen?
I mean,
but he's not apologizing. He's making it bullshit for, oh, I didn't intend to cheat.
Yeah,
who cares?
I think so
Like,
too.
it
But
doesn't
like
really
at the same
matter,
time, it
does
is
it?
really
I
hard
mean,
to admit to something like
the
this.
thing is, like, if he had
And I
intended
guess I
to cheat
see
or not,
why.
like, at the end of the day, he's admitting that he cheated. He's admitting the run was fake, and that's all that matters to me. It does matter. Yeah, I could see why people would say that it matters. Sure. And yeah, here's the way I see it, man. Is it's just not that big of a deal. And I think the guy making this post does kind of do a little bit more to kind of, at least especially for the mods that were probably being harassed by like his viewers and stuff like that, it does kind of put a lot of that to rest. So it's definitely good that he made the post. Should he have paid attention to the mod thing? Yeah. Was he maybe lying about actually not knowing that it was real and maybe he did know it's real? Yeah, maybe that's the case. But I'm not a mind reader. I don't ever try to read people's minds. I don't know this guy well enough to have any idea. So I think overall, it's a good decision that he did this.
Somebody's commenting that, like, do you really think his 12-year-old fans are gonna like read this? And it's a good point. It's a good point. Maybe not. Maybe not so much. But yeah, that is pretty conclusive. So he cheated. It looks like, I don't know, chat. I mean, the apology sounded sus. Like, it felt like he was trying to play up his stupidity, and I can tell he's not a stupid. I don't know. I just, like, why is this chat? Like, I feel called out. I feel called out by my own shit, okay? I feel called out because, like, you know, spread the truth? Okay. But yeah, I feel like, I don't know, like, I actually am, like, kind of stupid about a bunch of things, but I'm also smart about a lot of other things. And so it's like, I don't know, like, sometimes when, like, it is something like, you know, the question of, like, did she delete the VOD and why? It was like, literally because my mods told me delete the VOD, and because I don't know the logistics of what happens when someone comes and attacks you and tries to get your channel deleted, right? And so I was just like, okay, dude, somebody tell me what the fuck to do. Like, half of the time, chat, to be honest, like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing when it comes to, like, some of the, you know, it's not that, like, I mean, I know I can run OBS, I can edit software. It's not that I don't know technology. It's not that I don't know software. It's just that, like, certain things about it, like, I'm really naive and just ignorant of, right? In terms of, like, what happens when somebody comes and tries to get your channel deleted, yes, I'm sorry, I have to admit, before that happened to me, I was completely ignorant about, like, the meta of that, you know, of, like, you know, here's what they'll do. They'll come in angry, try to get you to say something, try to clip that, try to send the clip in. You know, you can circumvent that by deleting the VOD. That's one method, but of course then it begs the question of, like, but why did you delete the VOD? And of course everyone from forevermore will forever put any unsolved crime, you know, committed since, like, the 1600s. They'll just go ahead and be like, yeah, NCC did it in that deleted VOD. We know because she deleted the VOD, so she must be guilty. That's right. That's how the logic works. So yeah, it's a fucked up thing. I mean, I can sympathize with Dream from, you know, just getting shit on by the internet and stuff, and then, like, okay, so here's my deal. Because I would appreciate the people who did the things, who told the lies that resulted in my harassment on Twitch and YouTube. I would appreciate an apology from them. Like, that would mean something, right? It would be too little too late. You know, they'd still owe me a lot, right? You know, the damage that they did is kind of immeasurable, right? But I would still appreciate an apology. So the fact that Dream did give an apology to the mods that he kind of besmirched. Is that a word? It's a word. It sounds so weird, chat. Is there a better word I can use besides besmirched? Disparaged? Is disparaged better than besmirched? Dream only admitted to cheating after the workers at Speedrun website got definite threats from Dream. Oh, geez, that's right. Yeah. And I got the same thing where people were telling me my fans were going nuts on people. I actually don't believe it. Yeah, I don't think that. Anyway, I think that video that I made to cool people down. Do you remember when that controversy started? The video of like a word from NCC or a word from nocommentchick, right? Like, I honestly think if anybody's fans needed to calm down, it was it was Eris and Dylan's fans that were being outrageous, right? It wasn't any of my fans. But I just wanted to say that to everyone, to just calm things the fuck down, and I thought it would help, and I thought it would work. Instead, they like try to turn it against me, like, look at how toxic her fans are. It's like, my fans were never toxic. Y'all were never toxic. That's fucking bullshit. Dream actually had a Dream Burger and said inappropriate thing. A Dream Burger on the internet to get fame. He is toxic. Wait, a Dream Burger? Oh, the Dream Burger. Wait, what? Where can you get the Dream Burger? That sounds delicious, chat. That sounds delicious. But chat, I did want to take this time to Dream has. Let's just say that Dream has inspired me. Okay. And there's been something that's been weighing on my heart for a long time, okay? I cheated, chat. I cheated at the game Among Us. And it was not a victimless crime, chat. Because two NCC haters, two completely innocent... Well, no, they weren't innocent. Actually, they were both imposters. They were literally both imposters. But... I vented them in Among Us after cheating by stealing the code that Tomfoolery was publicly streaming. You know the code that you take to get into Among Us, right? He just had his out there, and I was like, ooh, that's the number? Here, let me get into your Among Us game, right? So I cheated by sneaking into an Among Us game that I wasn't invited to, where they just wanted randos, and instead, they got me! Instead, they got Slick Juice. That's my Among Us name. And so I'm copying to it, chat. I am Slick Juice. I did the cheating. I am the reason that Neo Morai and Zonia got vented like the imposters that they are. Yeah? It's my fault, chat. I cheated. I cheated at Among Us, chat. It's like, I know it's a sacred esport. You're not supposed to cheat at it. I mean, they were cheating too. They were actually talking to each other like on stream and like telling each other what's going on in the game. So they were like literally also cheating, but like me cheating by sneaking into their game, that's so much worse, chat. So I'm so sorry, Neo and Zonia, for having, harmed you so irrevocably. There's nothing I can do to make that better, to bring you back to life in Among Us. But I can give you my thoughts and prayers and my utmost apologies with sincerity that I did the wrong thing and I cheated you out of a victory at Among Us that should have been yours. You should have just been able to cheat and take out that whole crew on Among Us, right? You should have just been able to like use your talk to each other while you were playing Among Us, which is cheating, and you should have been able to like basically get them to vent the wrong people and then win the game through cheating on a live stream for some reason, which is not a good look. I don't know if you know this, but like cheating, like casually cheating at Among Us on a live stream, not a good look. But anyway, I prevented that from happening, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you didn't get to run the board by cheating at Among Us, because I cheated better than you. I'm really sorry, Zonia. I'm really sorry, Neo Moirai. If I could say it in German, Neo, maybe your alt would understand me. But my German is terrible. Meine Deutsch ist sehr schlecht. Aber ich hoffe, du willst mich Oh god, I don't know how to say forgiven. I know how to say promise. I don't know how to say forgiven. Anyway, please forgive me, Neo Morais German alt. Even if you're not even if you don't think I'm super heckin' valid, please forgive me nonetheless. Anyway, thank you so much, chat, for being here. I'll be here all week. No, actually, we are gonna do more afternoon streams, chat. So more afternoon streams because they're a lot of fun, and I have fun doing them here on YouTube. And they're going to be political. They're going to be political. Don't worry. This is a deviation. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to unlist this video and I'm going to put it up on my gaming channel. Chat, if you're not already following me on my gaming channel, what the fuck are you doing? What were you thinking? What were you thinking, actually? Yeah, right there, gaming channel, nocommentchick. Sign up for that because I'm going to be putting this up over there and hopefully other gaming content too, which I do. I do gaming content. I do Drunken Rocket League, which is a bunch of fun, and Stoned Path of Exile, and Stoned Kingdom Hearts, and Stoned anything. Because usually if I'm playing video games, then I'm stoned because I'm not, like, you know, analyzing, like, videos or anything like that. But anyway, that's a lot of fun over there at Twitch, and also over on the gaming channel here. But yeah, I think we understand now that Dream is a cheater and so is NCC. So, but Dream did nothing wrong. NCC did nothing wrong. Vriska did nothing wrong. But yeah, no, I totally cheated at Amogus. Sorry about that, chat. Anyway, I hope you forgive me. Moe Kyun. And I will see you at Twitch. We'll be doing Twitch tonight at the normal time. So, talk to you then, meow meows.